Good morning traders, Richard here, and a quick Ichimoku Cloud Chart market review of the Nasdaq Composite Index. We'll be looking at the Nasdaq 100 Index, the Equal Weighted Index, and then the Nasdaq 100 excluding tech. There's a couple interesting points and observations to make. Price action sliced through the bottom end cloud chart support yesterday, and it's very close to the first support zone, 22,500, roughly this low there in February. And we just need to get February. Is normally a seasonally difficult month, so the market is at risk of a further a total of about a 8 to 9 to 10% correction. Yeah, so let's just take a look where that brings us to. I'm going to put this line in there, this bottom end cloud chart support zone, and let's just take a look and see how far that is. Yeah, so that's the downside risk, is another drop to the 22,000 zone to get through the next 2 weeks in February, and then we normally have a seasonal strong March month. So this is not all doom and gloom, just keep a close eye for support to come in at the market here at this 22,500 zone. If that doesn't come through today, there is downside risk to the 22,000 zone on its own. Now this could be similar to like this downward move, rebound rally, downward moves, like an upward continuation pattern. We've got something similar here, a downward move, rebound, and the downward move. So we could still see a downward continuation pattern from here to that zone. So up, downward continuation pattern. Let's move to the upside there, so you can see, oops, let me just put it in there. So that move, rebound, move down. So there's still some risk of a downward continuation pattern on the Nasdaq Composite Index. Any rebound from these two levels will be met with new resistance now. The bottom in the cloud there is now a new resistance zone. Since the support failed, we need to be back above that bottom in cloud chart support zone to be bullish on the Nasdaq Composite Index. So these are the levels to watch out for the coming week, to see if we get a rebound from either one of these two, and a consolidation, downward continuation pattern, seasonal weakness, usual seasonal weakness in February that pays out. Now the Nasdaq 100 Index, also in bearish territory. Key levels to watch out for is this 24,574 zone, and similar to the Composite Index, we can see that 6 to 8 to 10% correction at this time of year is not uncommon. So yeah, we could still see another 2-3% drop from where we are here to test the bottom end of the cloud support zone here at 24,000. So the Nasdaq Composite, Nasdaq 100 Index is at risk of hitting the 24,000 target if support fails at 24,574. Now to be bullish, we need to be back above this bottom end cloud chart support zone. So that zone can now, just like in the Composite Index, also come back as a resistance zone. But keep in mind that February is normally a seasonal weak period in the market, so we are still following kind of seasonal patterns on the Nasdaq 100. Now it's interesting, the equal weighted NDXE, yeah, we're still in bullish territory, and price action is still above the bottom in the cloud there, so keep a very close eye on the equal weighted one to see if we're going to slice through that bottom end cloud chart support zone. So if the equal weighted one also dips below here, then we're starting to look into really big trouble for the markets overall. That's another support zone to look out for, and the bottom end of the cloud, yeah, is also the other support level to watch out for. So keep a very close eye out on the price interaction with the bottom end of the cloud on the equal weighted one. Now the NDXX, which excludes the tech, that's still bullish. That's actually very strongly bullish, very negative candle there, but still back above the, still trading above the top end of the Ichimoku cloud. There's downside risk towards this bottom in cloud chart support zone, so keep an eye out on that. But so far, so despite the negative price action on the Composite and the Nasdaq 100, the equal weight and the Nasdaq 100 excluding tech is still going very strong. So keep a very close eye out for any kind of weakness in the Nasdaq 100 excluding tech index, and that'll give you an idea if the market is really rolling over. But the tech heavy index, the big names, Microsoft, Amazon, all those having an impact on the index, and keep a close eye out for support to come back in at 22,524 and then the other one is 22,100. Until next time, thanks for watching and happy cloud chart trading. Bye for now.